That's why we did both this routine and Arua City for all. We also realized that some part of it was previously demarcated. So our team did a mapping. They will know how many sections, how many kilometers was demarcated, what 15 kilometers. So now we know what was demarcated and what was remaining. So we are going to do the remaining part until where our resources are going to stop. There are stop. Then we start stop. So with these few comments, maybe just to add a few things. The other component of the project, which is not about river anymore, is about supporting communities with livelihood options. We are developing with sent consultants, they did a study, communities gave their references. Some of them talked about beekeeping, some talked about coffee growing, some talked about banana production. Because I read the report, I summarized it. And some groups who are washing cars along talked about modernizing their car washing so that the water from.
Today we make it short so that we have time to go to the field. Thank you.
Members, my understanding is that we have reached the point of doing a really physical activity of demarcating our river. For the visitors, my name is Malone Futia, the Mayor of Division. I have a few concerns. It is in the best interest of us, the leaders of the city and the district, that this river is finally protected. Madam Chair and our visitors from ministry, the latest flooding taught our people the last lesson. Over 3,500 people slept outside. Over 75 houses were destroyed. Over 38 heads of cattle were swept by the river, let alone sheep, goats, and others. So, I want to regret that under the project for water for Arua, there was a project funded by WWF, and by then I happened to be the chairman of Resource Protection. Mama, there were alternative livelihood provided. First of all, from the source of the river, we realized people were getting water directly from the river. So a borehole was drilled there. Number two, there were provisions for cattle troughs. So there was it was believed that we needed to get our animals now from getting the water direct from the river so that they get water from the cattle troughs. Number three, there were provisions for tanks so that instead of communities getting that water from the river, people should get water from the tanks. And some of the provisions were within the city, particularly this school, when you cross the river, when you cross the BAT bridge, there was that. So unfortunately, the project funds were not enough. We have even already succeeded in removing the guys who were washing cars in the water. That's why there's a gabion there. Then BAT here, and anyhow here as you cross to Juve. Upper side there's a gabion, but down you don't have a gabion. So these guys should have actually left the river that time. And this other part, they were given some money to start alternative. Others started bricklaying, others started other things. But my concern for this meeting is number one. If, Mr. Commissioner, we are only going to protect the river now without protecting the tributaries, my fear is we may not have the quality of water we want. The other day, when Enyao completely dried, but beyond Ethiopia here, because of the assistance of the tributary called Ega and the Rivoli and Okaivo, we had a lot of water flowing the other side, but this time there was no water. So the other day when the first team came, we had appealed, my sister is there, we had an appeal that if it is possible, let this demarcation extend up to the tributaries. This was our appeal. I don't know whether it can be cut for this project. Number two, I am happy there's already a plan for alternative livelihood, starting with these guys who are hosting cars. I can assure you, if those guys leave what they are doing now, they will become insecurity. I am happy to have heard from you that we are going to engage them better. I am happy. Lastly, I want to be guided of how far the demarcation within the city. Because the city population continues as far as Eleco, which is bordering Terego district. So if we are going to protect the source which is here, and we are going to leave the one down, I can guarantee you human activities there will continue to deplete the environment. So these are my few requests that I wanted to push, and know it is possible to this project. Otherwise, the sensitization of demarcating this river has been there. My LC ones are here, they can confirm. Communities are aware. If there are still people who are buying land in the wetland, if there are still people who are building houses in the wetland, I think people are doing it by choice. Other than that, this has been so many years. So many years. So my assurance to you is there's no politics in this. Because at the end of the day, we are saving the life of our people. So, I thank you.
I want to say one big concern that I want to raise. Within the city, there are people who have built just very close to the river, and they have built permanent houses. They either did that with impunity, or there were authorities in place that time who allowed them fraudulently to do it. As you cross to BAT, on the southern side, you will see the wall fence of some buildings. Just when it rains and floods, those people are affected. It goes up to, I don't know how they survive. It moves like this. Now when you go to, as you cross it, in your own bridge to go to Diofe, the other time when it rained very heavily, I think a wall fence was broken. And it continues like this up to Kenya World. I have not studied what has happened beyond that. But there are people who have really built within the buffer zone. When they did that, there was government in place. And they were not disrupted. They were not stopped. The reason I had said either they did it with impunity or the authorities in place allowed it fraudulently. What is going to happen to those people? You, ministry, what are you going to do about those people? You see, allowing somebody to do a wrong thing when you are seeing, but keeping quiet is permission. It's indirect way of permission. So you permitted them, we permitted them. I don't want to say it is you, we. Those who were in office, that time permitted them to do it. They have now done it, they are there. They suffer the discomforts caused by the floods. When the floods go, they sit there. The toilets are draining directly into them. What is going to happen? I wanted this answer to come very clear. This is now where we're going to have running battles. Because if we have to do a thorough job, those wall fences must be broken. Those buildings must be removed. But they have already spent resources. That's where their livelihood is earning from. What are we going to do to them? So that when my enforcement people go on ground, they should also be protected. They should be shown how to do it. Before we begin to run into politics, before we begin to run into litigations, and the rest and the rest. I rest my case.
If you need this permission,
My name is Sylvain Sugar Rasul. I'm the Speaker of Central Division. I'm so happy and so grateful that they will be meeting to have solution to the problems of the greatest river that we have in northern region and West Nile, Arua City, with the Arua District inclusive. I've heard of the concerns and the dangers related to River Inyao. Madam Chair, one thing that I've seen has been ignored is in Arua City, we are faced with the greatest challenge of managing garbage. And I've realized that people are using River Inyao as a dumping site for the garbage. And the danger is the garbage sometimes contains things like caveras, plastic materials. I think we are forgetting about that. And this is a concern that as more we keep just watching and people keep dumping, I think as authorities we need to do something in terms of enforcement to make sure that River Inyao is protected. That is one. Two, I have a feeling that if we also employ the young people, maybe in a way of trying to clean River Inyao, remove the plastics, remove the caveras, we do it as a routine thing, maybe once in a month. I think that will also help us conserve River Inyao. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. And thank you, team from Kampala and members. My name is Okiswa Geoffrey, once again, RDC Arua District. Mine is a quick reminder of the distance away from the river, the restricted, the regulated distance. When I was RDC Serere, I used to know it very well, but I've since left the place. I went to a place where we don't have lots of contention when it comes to rivers. That was in Bali, Manafa, where we don't have wetlands as much as I used to have. Because I recall we were once told that it's 200 meters away from a lake, and then 100 meters away from a major river. Then is it 50 meters away from a simple river? This could be a simple river. A major river would be imagined is River Nile. Why I'm raising this is it would be very tricky for us to reach a conclusion in the field when you say we got to negotiate with the committee members a win-win situation. That how many meters should we? So we must first of all know what is the lawful number of meters. Then two, what can we agree on here before we go to the community? After we have already started demarcating, what standard were you using to demarcate the rest? Because if you told the community members to agree, it can take us a very confusing period of time to agree on the number of meters. Thank you.
House. My name still remains Dr. Jackson. I'm the Deputy Mayor, Central Division. I want to thank the team from Kampala for the purpose for which they have come. I am a local environmentalist. In my home, both in village and here, I enjoy the scenic beauty of vegetation and the trees. I have been in council for quite a long time, but my concern goes directly to the people from the ministry. Whereas we are supposed to implement environmental laws through the relevant authorities, many times we have tried to give recommendations to that effect to avert the activities but in vain. There is complacence in the implementation of environmental laws and a selective application of environmental laws in relation to protecting riverbanks and waterways. I want to be very specific. In Kampala, we hear of storied houses which are built in wetlands being destroyed. Paradoxically, some storied houses stand in wetlands in Kampala. Here in Arua, we have permanent houses, as my mayor said, built very, very close to the river, and nothing happens. How do you endeavor? How can you streamline the laws and its implementations? Can you give us who is supposed to do what in the implementation of the environmental laws? We have environment officers at our level and the district level. We have other officers who could enforce. But can you come up with laws which can make our enforcers to use it effectively to protect these so that we can achieve the objective for which you have come? I rest my case.
Thank you, the Chair. I want to appreciate this project because it is a project that is supposed to benefit us all, regardless of who you are. My concern is one, when projects which affect the people in that particular area where the project is carried, is done, there is sometimes social corporate responsibility which is given to the people to maybe oil them so that they cannot resist so much. I don't know in this case whether the ministry can specify clearly what are these social corporate responsibility activities which are going to be given to the people who are affected, because these people are affected individually and then maybe by clan, so that when we political leaders also try to convince them, we have some strength. Thank you.
I have fears and concerns to raise with you, but not many. One of them is about the issue of grazing. Once we are on the ground, we are going to try to protect the part of the river. But one of our challenges is grazing in the wetlands. The animals are very, very destructive. Say, for example, we are to restore the water. And after demarcating the part of this land, what is the project exactly going to do on the demarcated land? Are they going to plant trees? Are they going to plant grass? Are they going to fence the 30-meter wetland area so that it is not destroyed by human beings and animals? Many of these animals feed on the vegetation when the trees or grass. Now we will allow them to graze there. They will eat everything, vegetation that is there, and then make it a couple of the soil land. There, food there, also put one kind of erosion. So you find the water will be finished. We are planting some trees and some shrubs in few areas near the national water. But where those trees and plants and shrubs are planted, you find the place very green and the water level is up. It is come up. So, as example, one of the members said, let us think properly. Land properly before we go to the community so that we can tell them what will make us the project to succeed. Whether it will be very familiar or not, those things subside clubs, children are swimming. I tell you, they have created those areas in very bad development. If it's good to see, you say this is a bigger place where the water is running. So, if you stop them from swimming in the river, what can be done? This someone said, we got to contract with the dam outside, they're swimming there. I may read the big river impact. So, this is saying water does not also give disturbance, even if we need sound. Too much sound is too hard for water. So, here, there was a team that when they told us about about 2 stakeholders. One, they said there is a team for infrastructure that came to market, and they are going, there is a team that will cause what? Destruction of the infrastructure. The chairman of the mayor was talking about, they will break them all down.
Okay, summarize.
Yes, there is a team that will come and do mobilization. There is a team that will come and now but they are not coming up in this meeting. I don't know whether they are there or not. Thank you, madam.
I think I want to begin by first of all doing one. My colleagues should have done. I want to take time and educate ourselves on the laws regarding wetlands management and what should be my role and what should be the role of Mayor. Mayor, can I have your attention? Thank you. And the role of the district chairperson, the role of the RDC, the role of the mayor, the role of the district natural resources officer, and so that we move forward when we each know our role and don't apportion blame where it is not supposed to go. We have the National Environment Act of 2019. I want to read 4 sections. Section 26, 27, 28, and 54. Section 26 talks about environment management by urban and district councils. I believe these are the head of these councils are the mayor and the district chairperson. Subject to this act and any other applicable law, urban and district councils shall be responsible for the management of the environment and natural resources under their jurisdiction. 2. Subsection 2. Section 26, subsection 2. Urban and district councils may, in consulting with the authority of these members, make ordinances and bylaws to regulate various aspects of the environment and natural resources within their jurisdiction. Subsection 3 is that any ordinance or bylaws made by urban and district councils under subsection 2 shall not be inconsistent with this act. Hope that one is quite understood. 27 establishes District Environment and Natural Resources Committee. The composition of this committee is a district chairperson, members of parliament from the district, the resident district commissioners, secretary for environment, district natural resources officer, who shall be the secretary, the chief administrative officer, the district engineer, the town clerk, the mayor, town clerk, and secretary responsible for environment at the urban council, the district planner, the fiscal planner, and the community development officer. So in urban council or local government council, there is supposed to be a district, environment, and natural resources committee comprised of the people I've mentioned. Their function is in section 28. Functions of district environment and natural resources committee. Just want to read F, subsection F. To monitor all activities in its local jurisdiction to ensure that such activities do not have any significant impact on the environment. Hope it is clear that if any activity is coming up in the wetland in Arua, the district council or the urban council or the city council is mandated to stop under this act. Then I go now to section 54, which talks about management of wetlands. Subsection 2 talks about the government or the local government shall not lease out or otherwise alienate any wetland. So if anybody has to rightly say that either give it impunity or in connivance. But there is supposed to be no title issued to such people. If they have title issued to them, such titles may fall under 3 categories which I want to explain to you. The first law regulating management wetlands came in 1995 under the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Article 237B. Then the Land Act, Section 44, which came in 1998, also stopped government or government from leasing or alienating wetlands. So anybody who has a title given from 1998 to date in a wetland, that title is invalid. And whatever he has done in the wetland is equally invalid. Hope I'm clear on this. The question came on what should happen to those who are built into the riverbed. If the title he got in 1998, after the Land Act, that title is null and void. And his actions are equally null and void. Suppose he has no title and he has gone ahead to build. We now read the last section, which is section 55. Restrictions on the use of wetland. 55(1)(b). It says the person shall not, without any approval of the relevant lead agency, given in consultation with the authority, be said erect, construct, place, alter, extend, remove, or demolish any structure that is fixed in, on, under, or over any wetland. So, such buildings are null and void. They are illegal. Now, I think the answer, the first presenter was agreeing with us that my people came and sensitized. And he was giving us things that should take back and work on it, how to extend the demarcation of the Nyam beyond the current plan. Then too, he was talking about going to the tributaries and so on. Then there was nothing on waste dumping. Dumping waste in the wetland is prohibited. Arrest such persons. Or why the EPPU in charge in this region?
And somebody call him.
Then somebody, the deputy mayor, was talking about complacency in implementing the law. And he was pointing, accusing finger at us. We accept there is, but also on your side. Remember, if you're pointing one at me, there are 4 going back to you. Accept my one, but I also ask you to accept your 4. Now, before I sit down, you come in. Yes. The reason why this appointment is in Arua and his colleagues are here are basically 3 major things. One is to help you people investigate and prosecute environmental crime, to liaise with the DPC and the OCCID to ensure that environmental crime are all investigated and prosecuted. It's not clear. So if there are any issue which requires investigations and prosecution, involve him. He should be able to do that. That's why he is posted in Arua. 2 is to provide the security to us and our colleagues while on duty. Believe us, we are going to the field. He should be there to ensure, not himself alone, but he has mobilized security and the guard for the officers going there. He should coordinate that one there. That's the second reason why he is in Arua. The third one is community policing, to help us talk to people, to do community policing. So that is the reason why he is here in his colleagues. So I should not be here in issues that cases are not being investigated and prosecuted when he is here. If there are issues, you raise with me so that I discuss with him and we see the way forward, but I believe he's not being given assignments to do. And then, what else have I left? I wanted to give you a story before I sit down. The people Arua, in 1982, I was in primary 4, and there was a story read in Oxford English Course Book 3 about a man who one day got a dove, and he was very happy that he had got something to eat. The dove cried in his hands, holding the book. How many of us remember the story? The rest of you are young and you came when the book was discarded. So the dove cried in his hand, and let me tell you 4 things that will make you rich. The man had to wait between getting rich and having food in his hand. The man chose to have riches. So I told the dove, and now you tell me the 4 things. The dove told him, the first thing you do, you always keep what you get. If God one day decides to bless you with something, you keep it. Just like this project that's come to you people. The dove would have been advising you that you keep what you get. And then he said, what's the second one? The dove said, don't cry. For what? You cannot get. The dove said, yes, I want you. I will never ever cry. For what? I cannot get. And then
But the project has several components. I did not bring them all out. One of it is restoration, which involves, or which may involve tree planting, grass planting, which may involve another round of sensitization for the people who are already degrading the wetland. We need to have a talk with them. We need to sensitize them. We need to bring them together. You know, the owners of this infrastructure, the ones digging. You just can't just begin one day, then you go and kick their houses down. No, we need the sensitization, we need the talk, we need to be civil. So the project has put some money aside
Yesterday I was working on the budget to be approved by the donor in Nairobi and then the permanent secretary in Kampala. I think I put some money up to around $38,000 for that. And my intention was to invite our beloved chairman to be in that meeting. You know, because I have to present this budget before them and they pass it. So if he is invited, he will speak on behalf of this community because he was there right from the inception. When the first team came to do groundwork, they consulted him. So all along I've been working with him. So I don't want to leave him behind. I already put him in the list of people to be invited in that meeting. Sorry for letting this come out, but I thought it'd be okay. So Chairman, I will, if I don't invite you, then some people are overruled beyond what my small power can do, you know, because there are hierarchies. There is power, then there's power plus power, then power, you know, there's that kind of thing. But at my small level, I've already put his name in the list of those to attend that meeting. And I've already earmarked that money for restoration. Meaning, those who have built in the wetland, those who are cultivating in the wetland, we need to talk to them, we need to sensitize them, bring them on board. Because this has already happened. It happened when all of us were there. But as a project, we are saying, okay, some wrong has taken place. How can we diplomatically solve it without creating so many tensions? The law is there. I don't want to make the law weak, but I, as a project manager, I am saying, yes, the law, you are there, enforcement, you are there, and our political leaders, you are also there. Can we come together and see what can work? Is that okay? So that's what we are doing. Then for the issue of extending the demarcations, we have a map of where we are going to demarcate and where was the. Please, can somebody come and help me? We have a map. Oh, this is so small. This is so small. Oh, it is this one in the shade. Oh my God. Okay.
So this part here, from here, here, we intend to demarcate the whole of Enyao in the city.
The whole of Enyao within the city.
Okay. The whole of Enyao in the city, but this, from this part here to the board of Maracha, we haven't yet sensitized that.
That community beyond there has not been sensitized, so you just can't bank on them.
So I think in the plan, it will be planned for as he budgets. Now, this part here, the brown part, is the part that we are going to sensitize, to demarcate and restore in the city. Because here we already sensitized. I think we've been carrying out sensitization meetings, several of them. Most of you know me, have been sensitizing. So this part we've sensitized. Now even this part is sensitized, but it is already demarcated. It has pillars. It was demarcated by government of Uganda. So we are not redemarcating there. Yeah, even up here. Then this part here is the district part. This is where we are going to begin from. And the launch is supposed to take place here, between the boundary of Arua district and Arua city, here. This is where we are going after here.
Okay. So in summary, me what I know in the whole of that map and everything, we are demarcating approximately 30 kilometers from that map. Is it so? About 30 kilometers?
Yes.
Yes, about 30 kilometers. But I've taken note of the tributaries. I've taken note of it. I've taken note of the section of Enyao beyond towards Maracha, which has not been demarcated. That one I've also taken note of. When my project bosses come from Nairobi for this meeting I was talking about, I will bring this to their attention so that they can, if resources are there, then if they approve it, then that part also will be demarcated. Now, like somebody told you, we are in the whole of northern Uganda, we are only in Enyam. Then in the east, we are only in Sirongo and Mulambuli, along river Sirongo. Then in the west, we are in Kamwenge, Kitagwenda, and Ibanda. There is a river system there called Rwambumpanga. It's a long one. Then down towards Singiro, we are also in the Singiro district and Mbarara district, doing the same activities. So your cooperation is very vital because, you know, when you have many places to work in, where the ground is soft, where the ground is receptive, where there is more cooperation, that's where the team tends to run more, isn't it? So let's not harden the ground. Let's not make life difficult for this team. Already in River Rwambu and Mpanga, they have demarcated 73.9 kilometers as we talk. Meaning there was more cooperation, meaning there was more community involvement, meaning the ground was good. So if you were me, you would think, let me put more resources where? There. But we're saying, no, let's give Arua a chance. Let's give our people a chance. Let's do something. So please, leaders, I beg for your cooperation. I beg for your cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The protocol be observed. My name is Alfred, the district chairman. Members, I must say today I am the happiest because we are launching demarcation of Enyau wetland system that we have been talking about for a very, very long time. I must say I am the happiest team from the center. We are happy about this. In the Bible, there's what is called commandment, the 10 commandments, Mama, we know, that God gave to us. We try to adhere to the commandment very, very well. But there's one commandment that is not there in the Bible. That is the commandment of restoring lives of people in the city and along Enyau River Valley. If we do not care for their lives. The Bible says that do not kill, but we can kill unconsciously through our negligence in the care of the water that we are talking about. The truth is, this is the longest river body in West Nile region. That is the truth. It is the river from which many, many people obtain their livelihood from. The city fetches water from that. We are talking about National Water and Sewerage Corporation. Where does National Water and Sewerage Corporation get her waters that it builds us up? It is from this water. The truth is that the river valley is severely and heavily degraded. It's severely degraded. Records show that around 50 hectares is a lot. 50 hectares of Enyau River Valley is degraded. This is big. So we can see how many lives we are affecting because of this river valley that we are talking about. I don't know why National Water and Sewerage Corporation is not in this meeting. I don't know why Office of Prime Minister is not in this meeting. Because the refugees so much depend on this water, this river that we are talking about. And when it comes to allocation of Dr. Deep resources, the two districts are disregarded, Arua and the city. They are not so much thought of. And yet, here we are scratching our heads. We're experiencing pressure from our buttocks just because of this river that is feeding the refugees. It's total oversight. It's oversight, serious oversight. We are here going to demarcate the degraded river valley. And I think we need to sign seriously, my elder, we need to sign MOU with the OPM seriously that the livelihood of refugees
it is, so much depends on what we do here. If we do wrong things here, then lives will go, which will not be good. So we are happy that today we are launching this demarcation. As chairman of the district, I call for us to have a concerted effort. I'm happy the police officers are here. We need to have concerted effort, Mama. Concerted effort. One person is not going to achieve this. And as we do this, we need to speak one language. One language. The LC ones that we sensitize, we should not be convinced that that sensitization was enough. We needed to continue sensitizing. The truth is we have low levels of civic competence in our district. Low level of civic competence. We need to continue with this kind of civic competence. I'm happy Commissioner mentioned it. We need a community policy. And I have this to say, Commissioner, in relation to your remark. The enforcement officer, I'm seeing him for the first time. You have not reported to my office. Most of our problems are caused by environment, the enforcement. And I appeal that the number of enforcement officers needs to be stepped up in this region. One is not enough. I don't know how many they are, but I'm just talking because I'm seeing one. We need enforcement. The laws are there. The regulations are there. But we have very low levels of adherence to the regulations, to the laws, to the rules. People are not adhering. And therefore, what does this call for? It calls for enforcement. We need to do that. For us as political leaders, when we talk about enforcement so much, they say, okay, you are the one talking about enforcement. We shall see ourselves in 2026. Even when we know the facts. So these are the fellows who are to speak for us. They are to enforce that, because when the people are healthy, we shall all be healthy. Now, one appeal, Mama, to the team is we need consistency in our response. We need consistency in our response. We need to sustain our responses. Without any fear of hesitation, I want to appeal, manager, commissioner, we want to have your office here. One or two of your staff there, second them to us here to enforce us in the region. This is not a simple war. It's a big one. When we are going this way, we just go to the office without calling you from Kampala. We are ready to give you office space so that one or two of your staff should be resident here to help us in this war without necessarily looking for you. You remember we talked some time back, and I'm seeing you again today. So may I request that I see some of your staff here, instead of looking for you, commissioner, instead of looking for you, manager, I just see your staff. That is enough to go in the field to do the enforcement. What we are launching is not a simple issue. It's a big one. We are picking a leaf from NFA. The pillars in NFA installed have been vandalized. We don't know where the pillars are. This is another pillar that we are going to install. These pillars need constant checkup. We need to inspect them to make sure that they are there. The LC ones need enforcement. They need support. And therefore, please, give us your support, your staff here. We are happy Uganda OLC has listened to us. We are also hopeful that you are going to listen to our plea by seconding your staff here. Free office space, you will be here with us.
Next week we'll have it.
Good. I'm happy about this. We need to come up with livelihood options that will prevent our people from going back to the wetlands. Yeah? We need to go. The question now is Enyao River in Evora. They use it for growing. There is no building there in the river valley, but they use it for growing sweet potatoes, sugarcane. How shall we prevent them from going down the valley to grow sugarcane and then sweet potatoes is the question that we need to ask. And also the trees that we are planting, let the trees be for them, so that they take care of them. And really, I want to say we could talk. We have many more hours to talk in the field. With all that, I want to say this meeting is adjourned for God and my family.
Godwin, hello.
Where's the person painting?
Huh?
It doesn't matter, they will now see.
You come directly to where the hole is. Here. Yeah.
So the other one.
The other one.
They can bend the other.
Using one hand. Achila, I am saying something.
All right.
Yes. On behalf of His Excellency the President, and as witnessed by the Honorable Chairman, LOC 5, Arua District, Lord Mayor, and the entire community, I hereby commission the demarcation of this wetland.
Thank you.
Chairman. Yeah, I am here to back the monitoring bit of it to ensure that the things remain here. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. let me also join the No, you can do it.
Let him first say something. Commit yourself.
On behalf of local council 1, Iwuta village, I witness the today's commission of National Environmental Protection Commission for God and my country.
Good.
After this, this channel is going down here now. Here now, don't come back to it.